Hi, everybody. This is Rose of Sharon, and I'm back again with another book review. I just recently read The Power of Music, What It Means to Me, by my wonderful friend, Gabriel Ramirez. And of course, I can call him Gabe. But Gabe is by far one of the coolest people I know. He's just the sweetest, kindest, most genuine person that you'll ever encounter. He's very open with his to those he actually trusts. He's very open with his feelings. For others, no, he'll keep them inside. So I totally understand that, being a water sign myself. I have to trust people before I open myself to them, because so many people have taken advantage of that, and then they twist the knife, and yeah, that doesn't feel too good. It really hurts, but nonetheless, I'm one of those types. I don't like to hold a grudge against people who do that. I'm of the impression all these things are challenges and trials for a reason, and we may not understand why, but the book actually talks about that too, in essence, when he's speaking about a lot of the past hurts that he has actually gone through and overcome. And he speaks of Buddy Holly and the Big Bopper, and of course he talks about Richie Valens. And I didn't know this. This is interesting. Apparently he was from no, he was from Los Angeles. He was born Richard Stephen Valenzuela. I'm wondering where he was originally from. His he is probably first generation immigrant, because I'm not really sure where. I know who really Richie Valens was. I'm a big fan. He was born in May. He died at Clear Lake, Iowa. So apparently he was probably with Buddy Holly. It was Charles Hardin Holly. Yeah, I know a lot about him because I'm a huge fan of Charles. He was later known as Buddy. He changed his name, just like Frankie Valli changed his name. And I adored that tale. But Jersey Boys was such a great film, and just monumental of the time period that it was coming out of. This is more of the 1950s, 1940s. That era of time just seems so distant and foreign to us now. Of course, the other one's the Big Bopper. Giles Perry, J.P. Richardson. He also died in Clear Lake, Iowa, so he actually went to the location where the plane actually crashed, and I thought, man, I can't even imagine that. And then I think about groups like I said, the Four Seasons, and how they came up with their name, and that was providential. I personally think that it was auspicious that Frankie actually came up with the name. And of course they had their ins and outs, and I'm sure that every musician does, just because of the personality types that they have. They're prone to drama, and everybody wants a cut of what they consider theirs. And when you write something, it's personal, just like Gabe says. And personally, the author, the poet, the lyricist who develops lyrics should get a cut. The people singing should also get a fair divide of the intellectual property. And it's not always cut and dried, it's not always clear. But one thing that I really felt was absolutely fascinating in the book is how he says music is universal language, and something that we all understand, is something we all connect to, is something that makes us feel in a way that nothing else can. And I always think about the music of the spheres, and how someday we will all hear that, but it's just unbelievable and absolutely phenomenal to think in that way. And this is a short book, but it's very informative if you're interested in Richie Valens and the Big Bopper and Buddy Holly. Those were I think those men were probably the trifecta. In my opinion, they were the trifecta. And everything after the whole rockabilly movement, I think that was inspired by Buddy, and just that whole it led to alternative, because Buddy, his songs were not like the Beatles. His songs were a little bit more realistic, had a little bit more of an edge to it, had lyrics that were kind of self-defeating and existential in their way, and almost, well, I could say they're nihilistic too, because my favorite song, That'll Be the Day, that'll be the day when you say goodbye, that'll be the day when you make me cry, you say you're gonna leave, that's a lie, well, that'll be the day when I die. And I thought, yikes, yeah, that's pretty hardcore. For a song coming in through that time, people thought, oh, well, I can relate, this is more of blues. So it's a song that we can all relate to, especially if we've ever been brokenhearted. It's relatable. I think it's something that all of us have gone through at some point in time, love and loss, and knowing that initially you get over that pain and the agony of heartache, and then you realize better things are coming ahead. The pain is there for a reason. If we don't have pain, then we can't appreciate the beauty that comes after it, or the joy that comes in the morning, as the Bible says. But and weeping will endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning, which I think is in Proverbs, if I'm not mistaken. Either Proverbs or Ecclesiastes, I can't recall. But it's in there. It's Old Testament. But it's such a forefront of how I see everything, where I am in life, and where I know I'm going, and just focusing on the present. And I feel like Gabe is doing that too, and he does that in such a poetic and lyrical way. And I love his songs, even the ones in Spanish. And my Spanish, I understand it. It's just I don't speak so well as I'd like, because I'm multilingual, but I can't really say that much else about the book itself, other than it's definitely marvelous, and it's very well written. And if you're a fan of music, then you'll absolutely love it, and you realize that we all share a common bond, being musicians. We're the fire. I remember, what was it? Keiko Matsui. She said, we're the fire. We are the fire that lights the way. Where was it? We are the fire that lights the way on the earth. We we show others. We're the guide. We are the ones that are the guiders, is what she was saying. We guide others to the best of our ability, or we teach others that it's no shame to dance, and just to be lighthearted, to have that kind of levity and playfulness in one's life, because life's too short, and you realize that there's more to life than what we can see and understand. But that's all I have to say about the power of music, because it indeed is one of those things that involves the heart, and the heart is a very deep and meaningful organ. It's more than that, because I was thinking of the ancient spiritual world and how they thought actually came from that, and I'm thinking that there is some truth, a lot of truth to that. I love the connection between the heart and the mind, and I'm trying to comprehend this in a better way. But that's basically all I have to say. I give it 2 thumbs up and 5 stars hands down, even though it's woefully short. I would have loved to have read more of the stories that he has experienced, especially with him going to Iowa. I thought Clearwater, Iowa, that was such a great tale, and I thought, why couldn't you have told us more? And it was really quite fascinating. But that's about all I have to say. So until next time, live long, prosper. Ciao, Tootsie.